I defend Justin Baldoni in this lawsuit with Blake Lively because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man.
Blake Lively, America's sweetheart, caught up in a scandal so wild it's got Hollywood whispering behind closed doors. Now, that's not something you hear every day. But here we are. Something big is brewing between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And if the rumors are even halfway true, this isn't just another celebrity feud. It's personal. We're talking threats, receipts, and a legal mess that could shake things up for both of them. And the craziest part? The more you dig, the messier it gets. Sources close to the situation are hinting at some serious behind-the-scenes drama. Allegations are flying that Blake might have taken things too far. So far that the words detained and legal trouble are now being thrown around. But why? What could possibly have her this riled up? And what exactly does Justin Baldoni have on her that's making waves? This isn't just gossip. It's a full-blown Hollywood showdown. And if the latest reports are anything to go by, it's only getting started. Blake Lively, Hollywood's golden girl, the epitome of grace, style, and charm. But now, her name is tangled up in accusations that could shatter that pristine image. The whispers are getting louder. And if what's being said is true, this is more than just a simple celebrity dispute. Sources claim she was either briefly detained or at the very least reprimanded in court after what's being described as an outburst before a judge. That alone is enough to raise eyebrows. Blake has always maintained a polished and calculated public presence. Losing her cool in such a high-stakes setting, something must have really set her off. And all signs point to Justin Baldoni. Word is, he's sitting on something big. Receipts that could completely shift how the public sees Blake. Whatever's in those alleged files, it's enough to have her fighting back hard. Some are even speculating that the stakes are personal, not just professional.
And I've had to endure in recent history. Everything he says is self-flagellating over the fact that he's a man. But he's, to me, is sort of the embodiment of what happens when you totally emasculate a man.
But what's inside these so-called receipts? And why is Blake allegedly so desperate to keep them buried? One thing's for sure, this situation is far from over. If there's one thing Hollywood loves, it's a carefully crafted image. And Blake Lively? She's played the game masterfully, always poised, always in control. But now, there are whispers that she's been pulling strings behind the scenes to keep certain stories buried. Multiple reports suggest she's allegedly pressured journalists and media outlets to kill articles that could tarnish her spotless reputation. And it's not just about career moves. Her past relationships with high-profile men are now under scrutiny. Leonardo DiCaprio, Penn Badgley, Ryan Gosling, and of course, her now husband Ryan Reynolds. These aren't just casual connections. They're pieces of a puzzle that some say Blake has been working hard to keep picture perfect. But here's where it gets messy. The timeline of her romance with Ryan Reynolds is raising some serious eyebrows. Officially, they got together after his divorce from Scarlett Johansson was finalized. But according to insiders, that's not the whole story. A journalist reportedly had proof, receipts, of a secret rendezvous between Blake and Ryan in a New Orleans hotel while he was still legally married. But before that story could ever see the light of day, it was allegedly shut down. PR teams moved fast. The story disappeared. And Blake and Ryan's love story continued, untainted, unchallenged. If this is all true, it means Blake's public image isn't just about good roles and great fashion. It's been carefully protected. But with these new allegations surfacing, the question is, how much longer can the facade hold? And this is where things go from scandalous to downright explosive. The controversy surrounding It Ends With Us, a project that should have been a career milestone, has turned into a full-blown war between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And if the allegations are true, this isn't just about creative differences. It's about power, reputation, and a legal battle that could expose everything. Sources claim Blake orchestrated Baldoni's removal from the film, but it didn't stop there. Allegations surfaced that she accused him of sexual harassment, claims that, if true, would have been career-ending. But here's where things get murky.
The judge in the It Ends With Us case just denied Blake Lively, but Does Ryan Reynolds have a smoking gun that he's been holding out on?
Sony reportedly never received an HR complaint. Nothing official, just whispers. And that raised a lot of questions. Was this a genuine concern, or a calculated move to push Baldoni out and secure her own control over the project? Baldoni and his legal team aren't taking this lightly. His attorneys have fired back, calling the allegations an abuse of power, a deliberate attempt to manipulate the situation. And if what some reports are saying is true, the battle didn't stop there. Blake allegedly leaked selective private messages from Baldoni to the media, messages that painted him in a certain light. But when he clapped back with more receipts, ones that told a different story, suddenly, confidentiality orders were in play. Blake, according to insiders, pushed for legal protections to silence him. So what exactly is in those messages? And if Baldoni really does have proof that contradicts Blake's claims, why is she fighting so hard to keep it from getting out? Once the floodgates opened, there was no stopping it. Social media lit up with theories, court leaks, and speculation, with independent bloggers and YouTubers diving deep into the scandal. And the more people talked, the harder it became for Blake Lively to control the narrative. Her legal team allegedly went on the offensive, issuing takedown notices left and right. Targets reportedly included big names like Perez Hilton and Candace Owens, accusing them of spreading misinformation. But here's the thing. Critics argue that referencing official court filings and publicly available information isn't defamation. If the details are already out there, what exactly is being misrepresented? That's the question people are asking. And honestly, if Blake's goal was damage control, it may have completely backfired. The more she tried to silence the conversation, the bigger it got. Suddenly, people who weren't even following the drama before were now digging into the details. The whispers turned into full-on debates, and now, fans are starting to wonder, was Blake's wholesome, perfect wife image ever real? Because if these allegations hold any weight, it suggests something much bigger than just a legal dispute.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor with some updates for you. Man, Blake Lively just got denied. Pretty rough. I didn't see that coming, I gotta be honest.
It suggests that for years, the media, the fans, everyone, may have been sold a carefully curated version of Blake Lively. And now, that image is starting to crack. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have always played the PR game well, especially when it comes to humor. Whether it's roasting each other on Instagram or making playful jabs about their marriage on Saturday Night Live, they've built a brand around being Hollywood's effortlessly charming power couple. But now, some are starting to wonder if it's all just a carefully crafted distraction. Because let's be real, when a controversy this big explodes, cracking jokes isn't always the best move. And while humor has worked for them in the past, this time, it's making people even more skeptical. Instead of diffusing the tension, it's raising more questions. If there's nothing to hide, why not address things head-on? Instead, the deflections are fueling speculation that Blake's career, and even her relationships, may not have been as organic as they seemed. That's where the real conversation is happening. According to some, Blake has a history of dating up to secure her place in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio, Penn Badgley, Ryan Gosling, and of course, Ryan Reynolds. Each relationship strategically aligning with her career moves. Coincidence? Maybe, but critics are pointing out a pattern. And for years, controlling the press work.
This text from Blake Lively is insane. If you knew me in person longer, you'd have a sense of how flirty and yummy the ball busting would play.
Carefully managed interviews, selective leaks, silencing certain narratives, classic PR tactics. But the internet? That's a different battlefield. Social media and independent content creators aren't playing by Hollywood's old rules. Now, no matter how much damage control happens behind the scenes, the truth, whatever it is, has a way of getting out. So the question is, will Blake be able to navigate this storm the way she has in the past? Or is this the moment where the Hollywood illusion finally breaks? This isn't just another Hollywood scandal. It's a full-blown PR nightmare for Blake Lively. And from the way things are unfolding, It looks like she's scrambling behind the scenes to keep her reputation intact. But with every new leak, every new allegation, the situation is spiraling further out of her control. Insiders are already hinting that more receipts could be coming. If that's true, things are about to get a lot worse. Because once the cracks in a public image start to show, there's no going back. The internet doesn't forget. And once people start questioning a celebrity's authenticity, it's nearly impossible to regain that trust. And if there's one lesson Hollywood never seems to learn, it's that trying to silence critics only makes things worse. The more you fight to control the narrative, the more people start asking, what exactly are you trying to hide? One thing's for sure, this scandal is far from over. So what do you think? Is Blake's team going to find a way to sweep this under the rug? Or is this the beginning of the end for her carefully crafted public image? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is just getting started.